Alright, everybody. This one's probably going to be a bit shorter, but I saw this tweet exchange yesterday, and I just knew I had to talk about it on stream. I knew you guys would get a little bit of a kick out of it. I'm sure you're all familiar with the Daily Wire. It's this massive network that employs a bunch of different far-right figures that you're probably very familiar with. Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Andrew Klavan, Brett Cooper, Candace Owens. The list goes on. They're all employed by the Daily Wire. They all work under a network, and they all basically have to toe a certain line of politics for their corporate overlords. And that's basically, like, the company, right? And it's run by a guy named Jeremy Boring. It's not spelled like boring, B-O-R-I-N-G, but, you know, might as well be. Recently, he tweeted this out. It caught my eye. Twitter canceled a deal with @RealDailyWire to premiere What is a Woman for free on the platform because of 2 instances of misgendering. I'm not kidding. Here's what happened. Thread. 1 of 16. 2 of 16. I'm not going to read the numbers. 1 year ago today, we released What is a Woman. For those that don't know, What is a Woman is like it's the documentary movie where Matt Walsh goes to like a bunch of random places and asks what is a woman. And if they can't, I don't even know like if they can or can't define woman. But regardless of what definition they give, he then goes, see, either everybody agrees a woman is an adult human female, or the woke can't give a good definition. Woke bad. Basically, What is a Woman is like the birth of a nation for transphobes, right? It is like the rallying cry piece of cinema that transphobes kind of all have to watch. It's like mandatory transphobe viewing, right? 1 year ago today, we released What is a Woman? To celebrate the occasion and expand the movie's already enormous impact, we decided to give it away for free for 24 hours on Twitter. With Twitter's recent commitments to free speech, we thought it would be the perfect place to distribute the film and drive the conversation forward on one of the most important topics of our day. Twitter responded with enthusiasm and offered us the opportunity to buy a package to host the movie on a dedicated event page and to promote the event to every Twitter user over the first 10 hours. We accepted and signed... Oh yeah, to be clear, Twitter... At least Elon Musk is effectively, like, acting as a Republican, like, conservative collaborator. The whole, like, Twitter space with the announcement of the campaign for Ron DeSantis was very, a very good demonstration of that. We accepted and signed an agreement, and after we signed, Twitter asked to see the film to better understand what parts may trigger quote-unquote users, so they could better prepare their response. They said they were still all hands on deck for launch, so we sent them a screener. Wow. They were going to air like a far-right propaganda movie with like a deal on their platforms. They were prepping. He's basically outing that Twitter was prepping a public statement for the inevitable backlash it was going to get for hosting and having a deal to host a far-right propaganda movie. After reviewing the film, though, Twitter let us know that not only could we no longer purchase the package they offer, they would no longer provide us any support and would actually limit the reach of the film and label it as hateful conduct because of misgendering. Ooh. They're so fucking mad. They're so mad. By the way, this movie has far worse than misgendering, okay? The movie has far worse in it than misgendering, okay? Far, far worse. I'm sure that's just the only bit of TOS that directly and most blatantly applied. I'm sure there are many other instances of Twitter TOS breaking. Also, Twitter's application of the misgendering aspect of its TOS is very, very hit or miss. It's very hit or miss. Like, sometimes Twitter is very on top of banning accounts that misgender or do certain things that break the TOS. And sometimes you might just think that there is no more Twitter TOS. The Blacks Posting L's account is still up and still gaining a whole lot of followers on Twitter. Anyway, let's continue. After reviewing the film, though, Twitter let us know that not only could we no longer purchase the package they offered, they would no longer provide us any support and would actually limit the reach of the film and label it as hateful conduct because of misgendering. Specifically, in the film, a father refers to his 14-year-old granddaughter as her, and a store owner uses the quote-unquote wrong pronoun in a confrontation with a trans person. I assure you that is not the only thing that happens in the movie that qualifies as misgendering. We reminded Twitter they removed misgendering from their policy, they did do that the term misgendering itself is misleading, and that enforcing such a policy places them on the side of the most radical elements in society, the side most opposed to their commitment to free speech. Ah yes, having TOS against misgendering trans people is in and of itself bad. Well, I mean, of course, that's what they believe, but yeah. We just reminded them of that, you know? Twitter clarified. Basically what this means is we reminded them, hey, you're supposed to be like a far-right collaboration platform now. Like, what do you mean? You removed this from your TOS. Twitter clarified they only removed misgendering from their policy because they didn't need to be that specific, but that they still consider misgendering abuse and harassment. They gave us the opportunity to... It's because Elon just wanted the clout of being able to say that he did it. Elon wanted the clout of being able to say that he did it, but they still have to enforce that standard for the platform to, like, function on a fundamental level. There would be absolutely no ads on the platform if on some level that standard wasn't applied. They gave us the opportunity to edit the film to comply, and we declined. When we asked how much they would limit the visibility if we posted the film anyway, Twitter replied that our own followers would not be able to see it in their feeds. This, they said, is part of their speech not reach policy. You love to see it. You love to see it. No, this is what you guys wanted. This is what you guys wanted. You guys don't get to come... You guys don't get to, like, 6 months down the road get to say, oh, wait, actually, Elon doesn't represent what we believe in, and this isn't the free speech platform. I'm sorry. You guys spent the last 6 months talking up Twitter under Elon as the new right-wing pro-free speech platform, and now you're taking it all back? Nope. You guys put your eggs all into Elon's basket. And exactly what we said was going to happen is happening. Good luck trying to backpedal this. I'm just surprised Elon Musk's Twitter, of all things, put their foot down on this. I don't really think it's that. I think it's more so that this standard has always been there, probably behind the scenes, for the sake of, like, needing to maintain some level of advertising on the platform. Of course, saying you have the right to speak, but we'll make sure no one hears you is a bit like saying you have the right to cast a vote, but we'll make sure it isn't counted. That's not a right at all. That is not even close to comparable, especially not on a like a private platform. We brought all our shows to Twitter Tuesday. We brought all our shows to Twitter Tuesday because we believed Twitter was committed to free speech, especially on this issue. After all, the Babylon Bee was silenced on Twitter after this very issue, and in part prompted @Elon Musk to purchase the platform. The other tech platforms have already decided where they stand in the trans debate and demonetize and deprioritize all those who disagree. Based, but also not true. Now Twitter has joined the ranks of the other tech superpowers in ensuring one side of the debate is suppressed. @Elon Musk is not beholden to conservatives. He has the right to run his business as he sees fit, but if Twitter is going to throttle one side of one of the most important debates facing society, not according to the fucking polls, it cannot claim to champion free speech. You know, it is one of the most important debates facing society today, but not for the reason this guy thinks it is. But as far as, like, the right's opinion on trans people, the polls are not demonstrating that Americans give a fuck about this anti-trans culture war bullshit. I hope Elon Musk will reconsider this awful policy. If we can't debate these issues on Twitter, where can we debate them? In a public forum elsewhere? Like, not on Twitter? Like, in public? Like, in private? Like, in the car? Anywhere else in America that isn't a private platform where they have the right to curate what's allowed to be platformed on their private platform? Like, Twitter isn't the government. I know you guys like to pretend it is and kind of like subtly pretend like it is, but it's not. It's unlikely another centibillionaire will come along to offer an alternative. We plan to post the movie anyway tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Will Twitter make good on their threat to throttle it and label it hateful conduct, or will Twitter live up to its great promise? We'll all find out together. Now, Elon responded to this. He did have a reply. And Elon, whenever something happens with Twitter, where it does something that's, like, good, and a conservative figure that's basically making the platform still exist at this point, because, like, the largest figures on Twitter now are all conservative figures, because, like, the blue check mark increases reach. Elon Musk replies, "This was a mistake by many people at Twitter. It is definitely allowed. Whether or not you agree with using someone's preferred pronouns, not doing so is at most rude and certainly breaks no laws. I should note that I do personally use someone's preferred pronouns just as I use someone's preferred name, simply from the standpoint of good manners. However, for the same reason I object to rude behavior, ostracism, or threats of violence if the wrong pronoun or name is used." I like how he'd throw in there, trans people will be violent against you if you use the wrong pronoun or dead name. So yeah, he's basically come and said, okay, for this specific scenario, because you're stirring up so much shit among the audience we'll make it so you can play the movie. And of course, Jeremy Boren replies, "I appreciate the reply. We posted the 2 clips flagged by Twitter and they were indeed labeled hateful conduct and the share functions were disabled on the post. We are trying to reach your team to determine what this means for those posts, whether or not our event tonight will be allowed to proceed unencumbered, and whether or not we will be allowed to purchase the live event page and reach block as originally intended. I appreciate your view of polite behavior, but our business is to debate public policy and philosophy. As such, we have an obligation to speak in ways consistent with our position. Our hope is that Twitter remains a place where we are free to do so." Remember, guys, Twitter is now a far-right collaboration platform. And as long as Elon keeps doing this, he will only whittle down the supporter base and the user base of Twitter further. Here's Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson's reactions. You got Liz Wheeler saying, "Whoa, not good. Hope at Elon Musk rectifies this immediately." Oh man, I wonder why Elon Musk felt so pressured into letting this slide. Megan Kelly saying, "At Elon Musk, is this true? Will you please reverse it?" What's up, at Elon Musk? Sounds like a misunderstanding. "This behavior by Twitter corporate directly opposes at Elon Musk's commitment to free speech, and I sincerely hope he does something about it." Yeah, I mean, Twitter's literally just like a platform being used by the far right, like entirely at this point. Like, there is literally no other purpose to Twitter's existence right now than for it to act as a platform for conservatives to artificially boost their propaganda to the largest audience possible. It's really wild. Really, really wild.